Oh, yeah, pimping it out.
So you're about to become a Manhattan guy.
Yeah.
This is going to be exciting for
It
you.
hasn't set in yet.
A new chapter.
You walk a little different when you're a Manhattan guy.
Manhattanite. Yeah,
I tell people, hey, man, don't throw that out in a reciprocal.
Hey, yeah. Well, you lean out of your window now.
Yeah.
Say, hey, shut the fuck up.
Dude, I need to do that. You're right.
You lean out. It's your place. You looks out onto what, 9th Ave?
It looks down on the 46 Restaurant Row. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Somebody's throwing it out. Like,
people are busy.
Recycling goes out on Wednesday.
Yeah. I was out there. I was cleaning my windows. I got a long squeegee because I got a fire escape. And they sold a squeegee to clean that side window. And I hear, hey, man, what this shit? People are looking up. The water's all dripping on them.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah, I'm walking over here. I was like, it's New York.
Yeah.
I was like, you just tell them a different apartment number. Yeah, come up to 3C.
Yeah. The bottom floor is 0. And then,
Yeah.
Well, you got to lean out the window. You have a conversation with the guy on the sidewalk.
Yeah, where'd you get that hoagie?
Yeah, fucking Giuliani.
Yeah, this place used to be fucking different.
Yeah. Summertime, huh?
Yeah.
Hot enough for you?
Yeah.
Hot outside.
Let me get one of them ices. Run it up 4B.
That's great. This is a new chapter for you.
Yeah, man.
Well, I feel like this is like it's a different Manhattan too than what you lived in before.
Yeah.
Because you were like Lower East Side and West Village. It's like this is like young. That's like young Manhattan.
Yeah, it is.
You're moving up to like this is like more old school. Not quite uptown, but like
Yeah, Stallone wrote Rocky over here. Did you know
like
that?
Taxi Driver.
Oh wow, that was
Rocky.
Hell's Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like
Seinfeld wrote 2 blocks away too from where I live. I looked that up. Like Larry David had this apartment where all actors.
That's where
stay
like
at.
the old Improv was like on like 9th.
Oh yeah,
like
it was.
Way,
yeah.
It's like way on the west side.
In 46th, I think, or 44th.
I think the building is like you can't even see it anymore when you walk by. But
wow.
like it's like way in the cut. It's not even like a regular area or something. But you're in the area now where it's like there's like people who've been. It's not like Well, it's gentrified, but it's not like there are some people that have just been living there forever.
Yeah, I go right by
old ladies and shit.
I go right by the old LOL like every day. That's how I get to Times Square.
But like once you get further, I think you got to go. Once you go on the other side of 9th Ave, that's like kind of like
I barely ventured over there.
It's
There's
like a neighborhood.
Like 10th Ave, you mean?
Well, I mean, just going further towards the west side. Once you get past, you're leaving past the tourist area, you end up in kind of like a neighborhood where there's like old ladies that have been there for 100 years and shit.
I haven't really got to scope it out too much yet. You haven't been that way.
It's like
I just seen the Target there, but yeah, a lot of Irish, I'm sure. Did I say that's where the saying came from? If it's getting too hot, get out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from Hell's Kitchen.
But it was like that used to be like the tough guy neighborhood back in the day. It was
I
like
feel I walk a little.
You go down there and
you
rumble.
I'll tell you what, there's still some shit going on around there because keep in mind I'm right by 8th Ave, so I forgot you gotta stay on your toes, man.
Well, it's just like that's like the vagrant area.
Yeah,
everybody you can commit a crime, then you just hop on a bus in Port Authority, and next thing you know, you're in Maine.
And dude, it's pitch black, or you could be in Washington, Rhode Island.
Yeah, you never know.
Dude, it's pitch black. They're going 4 feet away and getting away from it.
Yeah, well, that area right by Port Authority, when you're by you look up at it. And it's like the big structure. It's like 41st Street or something.
Yeah.
That's like that whole area. It's like anything can happen there.
It's expensive.
It looks like you're going to fight a crime or something.
I'll tell you, too, I didn't realize I had lunch twice, dude, like a $60 lunch. I'm like,
it's all
tourist
stuff over there. So you got to go further out.
Yeah, I got to venture more into 9th Avenue or like even 12th
The thing is, once you go further west, you end up where it's like, oh, if I want to get on the train from here, this is a trek.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you end up having to take a bus up the hill, or you end up in like There are certain blind spots in Manhattan where it's like, I am super far from the train right now.
You know where one is? Yeah, if you go all the way down. Beautiful apartments, too. Right on the water, but if you go at Columbus Circle and go all the way west, dude, you could be deep.
I used to be doing deliveries when I was doing TaskRabbit stuff. And it's like, it'd be like, there's a 13th Avenue.
Ferrari dealership.
Yeah, exactly.
You see that dealership?
And you end up walking down this, you forget that Manhattan even has hills that are this steep. And you're just like, you're way out there. Then if you want to take the bus, you got to take like the 57 bus.
Yeah.
And it just takes you up the hill.
Yeah, it is the 57. I used to walk dogs over there. One dog, I'd have to walk all the way down there from Columbus Circle every day.
Yeah.
Just to walk the little shit nose.
But yeah, what if you like this? Imagine that neighborhood back in the day, too, back in like the 20s. You just be
dude,
going
it
down
had
the
to be
street
great.
rumbling.
Yeah, people just walking around. They had those wheelbarrows, and it was all mud.
Well, you'd buy an onion from a guy or something on
Yeah.
the street, and then like down the street, somebody comes down with like a switchblade, and you gotta,
It's crazy they had all those wheelbarrows just for shopping. Like, how much shit were they buying on a daily basis? You
What's
ever see
crazy to me
that?
about the wheelbarrow is that like, why wouldn't you just put a fourth wheel on there?
Or a backpack, yeah.
No, but I mean, you put a fourth wheel, you can just push the thing. You don't gotta.
Yeah, that's true
Listen.
too. Well, they liked working hard. It was all Irish,
Well,
Italian.
I think they got to 3 wheels and they just stopped. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll work. It balances. And then eventually somebody's like, no, if we put a fourth wheel, we don't got to lift the back. You just
Tie it to somebody's back.
Yeah, it was like a rickshaw back then. But no, if you think about it, it's crazy because like people talk about how much New York has changed these days. But if you go to like the Lower East Side, like where you used to live, by like Old Man Hustle and everything, that area, as crowded as it is now, back in like the 1920s, it was like 5 times as many people there.
Hell yeah.
It was like every single 1-bedroom apartment was like 10 people.
Yeah, they hang out the windows.
Yeah.
Remember that?
No air conditioning or nothing. Everything was just like you like shit in a bucket and like, toss it out there.
Dude, it was like that.
Yeah, it was like open air sewage and like horses and shit.
Damn.
But it's crazy to think that like Manhattan used to be like, this is like low level population wise. It's actually lower than it's at like a low point now. But it used to be like, imagine an island that size with like 5 times as many people.
Damn.
And
Well,
it's just
and they
like-
were more concentrated though.
Yeah, but they were more concentrated. But it's like Brooklyn
Because there
was
wasn't
Brooklyn was
uptown.
like the countryside back then.
Yeah, that's
You go
how
up
it's
to
got its name.
You go to the Bronx, it's like it'd be like yes, but now it's like Manhattan. No one can afford. Most people can afford to live there, so it's like it's all 1 bedrooms and it's like a couple or something. But back then it was just like 15 Irish guys in a building, and
But
then you would just go out and just fucking rumble.
Back then it was wasn't it just up to like 42nd or no?
Yeah, I think that was like, but I think for like immigrants, like Irish, Jewish, Italian immigrants, you get off the boat in Ellis Island and they're like, you got one place you can live.
Where's that?
Lower East Side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Essex Street, Delancey.
Wow.
I bet that's where like they should make a movie where it was like you get somehow time travel, or like a movie that just jumps back and forth in perspective from like now to like 150 years ago.
Yeah.
Delancey, Essex, McDonald's. I bet if you go back 100 years, people were like fist fighting right there.
Yeah.
Before McDonald's came in, that was like a boxing ring or something.
Yeah.
And then once McDonald's came in, it's like, no, this is where we go to fight.
Or there was a little back room. The best place to fight was where the cellar is. Can you imagine?
Yeah. But it was like that's people have been going there to rumble for years. It's just
Yeah.
an ancient tradition.
I wonder if back then people they really step outside their building and just fist fight. Little button-up shirt on.
Well, back then, like these days, you don't even hear about Italian being like a gang thing.
Yeah.
But back then, it was like everybody was like Mark Wahlberg,
It'd be
Donnie
like
Wahlberg, just walking down the street like we're just pissed off all the time.
they're hungry.
Yeah.
Want a salami.
Well, it's like their mom. All they had was like an onion and some soup.
And she never really loved them.
She's working 5
much.
jobs.
Yeah.
She's got
But the middle kid.
10 kids, and yeah, their dad is an alcoholic. So it's like, no, you got to go out and you got to fight.
He's pissed off. I came to this country for free will.
And you, next thing you know, your brother's a cop.
Yeah, I've been looking a lot about the history in New York. Like Brooklyn was, because it was broke up by water, so they called it broke land. That was the original, and then it slowly changed
It's like a
over
Dutch
to
thing or
Brooklyn.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, even back, like, if you talk to somebody who grew up in New York, most of Brooklyn, it was like for like, I mean, Colin Quinn has a bit, but it's like white people had like 2 stops. You get off the L train, Bedford, Lorimer. It's like you don't stay on the train after that.
Wow.
But now it's like, yeah, it just keeps spreading out. And now Brooklyn is like, you could walk from here straight to the city if you want.
Mm-hmm.
But I think back then there was like, you'd see gaps. But yeah, I think your neighborhood now, it's like, that was like, I think you have a little bit of money. You start off in the Lower East Side, and it's like you're washing clothes or something.
Yeah.
And eventually, you fist fought enough guys.
Uh-huh.
They're like, all right, yeah, you can go uptown now.
Yeah.
And
Get a
eventually-
job at the factory.
Yeah, and eventually you end up past, I think, back in the day, I think 34th Street was like, that was the line.
Wow.
Once you get up there, it's like, now you're, because like Park Avenue, that was always nice. Upper East Side.
Yeah.
That was always like where the money. It was like Great Gatsby, where the money's at. But like everywhere else was like still pockets of bad stuff. Or even like Upper East Side, by like comic strip.
Yeah.
That was like straight up gang territory back in the day.
I could still feel like
Murray Hill and
down
stuff.
by that 5 points, and you could almost still feel the gang violence. When you walk. Remember we got dumplings over there the one day?
Yeah. The Chinatown, it's like they haven't even changed the streets.
I wonder
those little,
what
like,
year
alleyways and stuff.
around when that was, like 1920, 1909. When did they all start coming here?
It was earlier than that. This is like late 1800s. But that area was like, you can see all the buildings still look like shit.
Yeah.
So you could just imagine all those buildings. Chinatown is still already pretty crowded.
Yeah.
But just imagine how many fucking people there were packed in there.
I wonder where they got the secret fights going on in Chinatown. You know they got some somewhere in a basement.
There's like tunnels under Chinatown that go from like one building to like a few blocks.
Yeah.
But that's where like the Chinese gangs used to smuggle in opium and shit.
Wow.
And they had like opium dens back in the day. All those. Here's the thing with a city like this. Anytime you build a city and you build a bunch of secret shit, they don't fill in the gaps. All these tunnels are still there. So there's still like a tunnel. If you go under Times Square and there's like the Times Square subway station, there's just all these doors and shit that are locked off.
Yeah.
I saw TikToks about it, but like there's people who just break in and you go down there and it's like, no, this tunnel just goes for like a mile.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the ones in Chinatown all lead to certain massage spas in the city.
Well, back in the day, this was
34th.
pre-massage parlor. It was just like you go down there and it was just dudes gambling. And it was like cockfights and shit.
I bet you there's some stuff still like that going on 100%.
That stuff is not going on. I mean, that stuff these days, it's like you got to go to Flushing.
You got to look. Oh, yeah, I guarantee.
Go to Flushing, go to Sunset Park. That's where you find like real mob shit going on. But no one's doing that in the city anymore.
Only Chinatown people.
Chinatown, though, I mean, these days, that's more of like, you want to see real Chinatown, you got a 7 train.
But I mean, they're still doing it like the mob should be, I feel like. They're still, like, they still got the silk shirts,
Yeah.
They're still kind of doing it, smoking a ton of cigarettes.
Well, everybody's talking about it, but like the recent Chinatown, you think about where it is in Manhattan, between Soho and the financial district. So it's like, this is theoretically like one of the most valuable real estate places in the city. But it still looks like shit because it's all owned by the like 4 different Chinese families.
Wow.
That just refuse to sell because they're just stubborn like that.
I mean, I don't blame them.
They don't want it. Well, I mean, they're leaving crazy amount of money on the table if you think about it. That should all be condominiums and like, banks or something. But they're like, no, we own this place. We're keeping it as like a bunch of bullshit tourist t-shirt places.
I don't think it would be making out in the long run because they're sneaking in millions of people. Like that alone's the moneymaker.
They're not sneaking them into Manhattan, though. You sneak them into...
You don't think the Chinatown?
Not
they're
in
all hiding out in there.
Not in Manhattan, Chinatown. You go to Sunset Park. You go to the Bronx. You go to... There's multiple Chinatowns in this city. And the other ones, I mean, like, you go further out, it's like real Chinese.
But if they got rid of that, dude, Chinatown's done. If that became condominiums.
Exactly, but it should be. I mean, you think about, like, if it was a free market and it was like, we all just bid on this. You're right by the financial district. You're right by downtown.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, and Soho would just spread out.
How long do you think it would take to get the fish smell out of there?
It's a while. That's the other reason why it's not like a real expensive neighborhood yet. And they can't build like any nice like apartments. Is that you're still next to like a seafood market.
It's on your clothes, dude. I used to see a girl that lived in Chinatown, and dude, I swear I hung out at her house for 3 hours. It was on my clothes. You can't wash it off.
I mean, that's like the classic like Hong Kong smell,
right?
Where it's like it's like it smells wet.
Shit makes you want to go kick a tree.
But like it smells like everything that's still soaking wet. Like it's like damp.
Yeah, it does. It's just constant fish smell.
Yeah.
I can never do it, dude. I've almost lived in a place in Chinatown once, too. The roaches were so bad, it was insane. It was further up on Ludlow. It was only $600 a month.
Yeah.
But it was like in one of those Chinese buildings to where, you know, you got roommates everywhere and the walls. They're just like, you can't, you know, they're all over.
All the stairs are all warped and shit.
Yeah,
So it's
you gotta go 3B. There's arrows spray painted to where 3B is because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, but dude, the amount of roaches was unreal, dude. They put a board you had to step over. They had a board bolted down to try to block rats and roaches from coming in. And dude, it was just like insane, dude. On this, I was like, I don't see how anybody could live like this. And the fish.
That's how they used to live, man. That's how.
And the wooden beds, like we're talking, this bed's small, but their beds was a piece of wood. It was because the bedroom was too small for a
prison
bed. Yeah, it was like a prison bed with a little thing laying over it. I'm like, this is my room right here. Had a window though.
Yeah, we're recording.
Can't beat that.
Still in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, you gotta think, as shitty as that apartment looks now, imagine that apartment with 10 more people in it.
Right.
Back in the day, and those 10 people was like, it would be like, you'd have a bed, and it wouldn't even be your bed. I mean, it's your bed for 8 hours. And so when you're asleep, this other guy's working at the shirt factory. Then you leave, and he's in your bed, and it's just, you rotate out like that.
You think it's really like that?
That's how it was back in the day. There's books and stuff about it. Well, everybody worked. I mean, like, all of Soho was all like garment. The garment district in Soho was all just like bunch of people with like 500 people over sewing machines and shit.
Wow.
And then you see some asshole, like the owner's son, walking around, like, you know, beating you with a newspaper or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of cigarettes they probably smoked back then, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy how they dealt with it. How do you think they stayed cool, like in the summer on the 5th floor?
Well, that's part of the New York culture is like you don't stay inside. You're always like hanging out. People slept on the fire escape.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like a common thing. Was people would sleep on the fire escape or on the roof.
Damn.
Everybody was always like, I feel like you see pictures of back in the day, like the 30s and the 40s. Nobody ever had a shirt on. That's when like the wife beater look kind of came in.
Yeah.
It would just be dudes walking around in their boxers all day long.
Wow.
Just imagine that smell.
Because it'd be that hot.
Well, it was before like men wore shorts. They didn't really sell shorts back in the day. The only shorts you owned was like your boxers. Or like, you know, maybe some swimming trunks or something.
Man.
But like you see like real proper European guys, shorts aren't really like part of the bag.
Right, yeah.
You're supposed to wear pants.
They'll tell you too.
Well, like shorts are for like, it used to be a thing for little kids.
They still believe that.
They'd call them long pants.
Yeah.
Your regular pants are your long pants. But it was like, well, when you were a kid back in the day and you grew up in Europe, up until age 9, all you wore was shorts. It doesn't matter how cold or hot it is. It's like, no, you're a little kid, you wear shorts.
Yeah.
And then eventually you grow up and you get a job at the farm. And it's like, no, you got to put your long pants on now.
I never knew that was a thing because, dude, they mean it. A good dude from Europe couldn't believe I went outside. We were in Lisbon, and I went in shorts. And, like, we were going out to eat, and he was just, like, blown away that I was in shorts.
I can see your knees.
He's cracking up. Like, he was
it's
embarrassed.
Weird. In my mind, Europeans these days, it's all, like, shorts and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Italian guys. But no, I think back...
I guess you just don't go out in public in the city in shorts if you're a grown man, though.
Yeah, but think about it. Your legs get hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does look childish, dude. I looked right in the mirror. I looked at him. I looked at me.
Yeah. Oh, which one of us looks like an adult right now?
Yeah, I felt like a kid.
Yeah.
They were all too big for me.
Well, I mean, it's like you do feel more young when you're wearing your legs are exposed like that. If you got to argue with another guy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're seeing their thighs jiggle and
as
stuff.
Soon as you see the kneecaps, it's like...
Well, you see the tan line, too, between the shins and the upper legs.
You know, I got this new ick. I don't like seeing guys' feet. I seen a dude's feet, and I'm just thinking, why don't you cover those up? Yeah. That's a woman's thing.
It's never a good look with like sandals and everything.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You got your feet all out? We're about to eat?
I'm the same way with, like, chest hair and, like... I don't know. I mean, you can't help it that you have chest hair, and it's like I'm not telling you to shave, but it's like this can't be happening We're trying to eat food here. It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
Maybe it's unfair for me because I don't have chest hair like that. But some
I
dudes,
remember-
it's like it's not a good look.
Dude, there was one dude, he thought he could trick me into honestly into molesting. It's a crazy thing. This is a true story. So I worked at this place, call center, and I couldn't tie a tie, and he tied my tie for me.
Oh.
And that's when I lost all the masculinity. But anyways, he told me he trained bodybuilders, so he invites me over, and it's him and his whole family with no shirts on. Everybody got chest hair. They're all eating dinner. And he invites me over to eat dinner with him, and we eat. And he's like, yeah, I train bodybuilders. He's obese. And we go down to his basement. He's like, I just got to make sure you're ready to be trained. And I'm like, all right. So we're sitting there. He starts feeling up my thigh. And I told you, I looked young. I'm like, hey, man, what the fuck are you doing? I was like 20 years old.
Wow.
He thought I was like 16, another case. He's like, I don't know. I seen the Honda out there. I was like, yeah, dude. I said, what the fuck is going on here?
What does that mean?
Yeah, like maybe he thought I was young. I had a little rice burner when I was 20.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not. It's not like you're a child.
Yeah,
that's its own Honda Civic.
I looked young though, dude. I used to get so mad. I'd go places.
Yeah.
I couldn't buy shit. Couldn't buy bleach.
Oh, wow.
They'd be like, "Come on, go to your car and get your ID."
So did the guy end up training you, or is he?
No. Honestly, after about the third time, I realized I wasn't learning anything. I was like, "This dude's just feeling on me." I should have figured it out after one time.
Man.
He kept itching his way up.
He could have been a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what bodybuilders are like. They're supposed to look at you. They don't touch you.
Yeah, he's like, I got to check your muscles.
No, look, but don't touch. Yeah.
He had pictures of all these bodybuilders in his basement from magazines. And it's like Jay Cutler, like the most famous guys. And it's like, looking back as a kid, I should have known, dude, you didn't train. You fucking live in Ohio. I always regretted not turning that dude in. Because he told me, he's like, yeah, I train lots of young boys.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you don't know what he was. You can guess what he was actually up to.
Yeah.
Like what kind of like weird stuff he actually did. I don't know if he called the cops.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what type of evidence.
Officially, what they actually did.
Yep. Never let a man tie your tie. That's one lesson I learned from that guy. Anytime a dude's just like, please, no, I'll just do it for you. I'll do a Windsor. Just be like, nah, dude, I'm good.
Well, it's one thing. It's like, I feel like if you're going to let a guy tie a tie, they got to do it from the front. Don't let him go behind you and do the arms. That's a vulnerable position.
But then they start making little faces and making you giggle when they do it from the front.
When they do it from the back, though, you're in choke position. All you can do is keep your arms at your sides. So it's like, like the UFC. It's like you never want to give the man your back.
It reminds me of like, you ever have one of those really cool guy friends that got the wink down good? Like they know right when to wink. They do it good.
Well, they can wink with one eye.
Yeah. Dude, I can't stand it. A good friend of mine's a winker, and he'll just hit you with that wink. Kind of throws your day off.
It was like the Jean-Claude Van Damme kind of wink. Well, it was like a 90s thing. I don't think kids wink anymore.
Yeah.
Back in the day, though, that was like a real move.
That's all you had.
Late 80s, 90s.
Yeah, you didn't have a phone. It was, did you cuff your pants? Did you wink?
Well, it was like, not only do you wink, but you do it like real smooth.
Yeah.
Where it's
I never had the timing of the wink.
Well, I can't move one eye without the other eye.
Yeah, that's the whole problem.
Yeah, that's why I can't play poker.
Yeah, you start winking. People like, if I start winking, it looks like I'm going through, I need some sugar or something.
Yeah, well, there's no like slick way to do it anymore with that.
Now I know, dude, he pulls it off, and I'm telling you, you'll think about it later. It's one of those winks.
Wow.
Because it's the timing. Then I'm like, dude, I don't want to be thinking about this guy winking all day.
Yeah, it's not a good look. The thing with like bodybuilders, though, especially like, I guess these days, bodybuilders, it's more like a TikTok thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like dudes who are trying to like, it's like a masculinity thing.
Yeah.
Guys are taking tests and they're lifting and they're talking about egg whites or something.
TRT, yeah.
But like back in those days when that guy was trying to train you, bodybuilding was so much more gay back then.
Oh, yeah.
Than it is now.
Yeah.
And it's still pretty gay now. But now it's like there's more of an ecosystem around it. But back then when it was like Schwarzenegger pumping iron,
yeah,
it looks so crazy when you watch back, and it's like, how'd they not see it coming?
Yeah, even some of those old school guys still lift like that. Like, you ever lift with one of those guys from back in the 60s?
No.
They go all the way down on squats. The ass will touch the ground. But they love to hit you. They're constantly smacking your shoulder and smacking your back.
But it was like dudes back then when it was like Schwarzenegger and he still had the accent and everything. And it was still like Austrian bodybuilder guy. Dudes would just be checking each other out.
Yeah.
That was the move back then.
And
They'd
be moving their head.
Well, they're trying to see what which bicep is bigger.
The symmetrics of it.
They know all like the tier, the triceps and the delts, and they're checking their body out. But it's like these days, I don't think dudes go to the gym and like you're supposed to I think these days you're supposed to check them out like from the side.
Yeah.
You're real sly about it. You look in the mirror and you see if you're his arms. But like back then when it was like in the 80s, I think bodybuilder dudes just went up. You just straight up look at a guy.
Yeah.
I could never do it.
Before all the stereotypes, they take turns massaging each other. Everything was for the gym. If they put it towards, hey, this is for working out. Hey, I'll cook you dinner. It's for working out, I'll massage your back. This is for the gym, And then the shots, dude. I knew a dude. Good friend of mine had me shoot him up the butt with that stuff, man. Shot it right in his butt.
Wow.
It was either testosterone. He bought it off some dude that was jacked.
Yeah.
And the dude had his name on the label and he scratched it out with a pen. But it's like, this is like prescribed to this dude.
Yeah.
It was like $250, but I seen the dude go from benching like 255 struggling to putting up 315. But then he lost even way more muscle when he got off of it. He was like, couldn't barely lift 225.
Wow.
It's a weird cycle you go through.
I've been reading this book about like WWF back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was like their big steroid scandal. It was like early 90s. But like somebody got busted and like some lower level guy got busted and then like the whole government came down the WWF.
Damn.
But it was like they had to go off of steroids where it was like one day Vince McMahon is telling everybody like, all right, party's over. No more steroids. So it was just like, imagine all these roided up guys who are like fucking gigantic. They all got to go off at the same time.
Wow.
And it was like, you could see in like the sales, if you track like the gross profits of the WWF, that's when everything takes a dive.
Damn.
Because psychologically, everybody was like, wait, because they can't come out and say like, all right, we're not doing steroids anymore, so we're all going to get a little bit smaller.
Wow.
But psychologically, all these kids are watching wrestling back in the day like, wait, why does this feel different now?
Wow.
Something's a little bit off. Everybody has a little bit less burst. You're seeing less veins. And
I'd like to go back and watch the difference.
But it was like, this isn't like a gradual, like, you don't taper off.
Yeah.
When everything gets cut off like that, it's like all of a sudden everybody, I don't know what happens to their balls.
I wonder who were the wrestlers back then.
I mean, I'm
sure your nuts would hurt.
This was like Hulk Hogan.
My buddy, when he was on roids, dude, he used to always hold his nuts. I know it makes him hurt.
Well, it shrinks, right?
I don't know, but he would be like, oh.
I think it makes it more sensitive or something.
He'd say, I got to pull him down. I'd be like, what are you doing?
That's a go to the other room kind of move. Yeah, we got to be in the same room for this conversation.
But if you're lifting weights, you could blame it on the weights.
Yeah,
that's
but
the way
still,
it is.
You go to the locker room for a second.
Nah, dude, he'd be in the locker room every 15 minutes.
Wow.
He'd do a set. Like, I got to pull him down. I'd be like, what are you doing? He'd pull my nuts down.
Just imagine that conversation back in the day, though, when it was like, that's like the hardest kind of lifestyle, being a pro wrestler.
Dude. It's crazy that they can't even do steroids. It's like, who are they? Why can't it's fake? It's fake. Why can't we do roids?
It is. It's dangerous. You don't know what you're taking.
I mean, wrestling itself's dangerous. You probably need steroids to jump off a damn ladder.
Well, you need steroids if you're trying to get the 28-inch pythons or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a certain level of muscle that your body can't naturally maintain for more than like a second.
Back then they were still sneaking it. Can you imagine those big fucking dudes trying to sneak?
Yeah. But it was like
trying to tiptoe to the other room with a bag of roids.
Yeah. All those guys, everybody was like coked out, taking pills, not sleeping, and having to like be like fucking huge all the time.
A lot of those guys seen Andre the Giant. He would have to just piss in buckets, they said. So those guys, imagine sitting next to Andre the Giant and he pisses in a 5-gallon bucket. You just got to sit there and deal with it.
Well, that guy too, he was like, he would drink like 50 beers a day or something.
He kept everybody in line.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did roids. No way. He didn't even need to.
He was just like, he had like a congenital, like, it was like a genetic default in his body that just made him grow like gigantic proportions. But that also means like his back was always fucked up. He was always in pain.
Yeah.
So he was just like a big monster. But you look at guys like Hulk Hogan back in the day, that was like the classic 80s physique.
Or like,
It was just like having kind of, because you look at Hulk Hogan too, they mentioned in the book, Hulk Hogan didn't have like a six pack. There was like, that was like the 80s look was like big arms, big chest, and gut at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody was dieting.
Yeah. And not doing legs.
It wasn't till I think Lex Luger came out. Everybody was ripped. Remember the dude that body slammed Yokozuna?
But yeah, I mean, even that guy too. It's like, imagine trying to maintain that kind of physique and then going off the roids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't even know about chicken breasts and shit back then either.
That's crazy to me that they didn't know about that shit.
Well, they didn't know. Nobody had like a proper diet. People didn't even drink water back then.
That's insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
my father still don't drink water.
You would drink milk at the gym.
Or like soda. People drank coffee and soda.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to this dude, man. He used to live with Mr. I don't know if it was Mr. Ohio. I want to say he used to live with Mr. Ohio. And, you know, he would just say, you know, we'd have our 2 pots of coffee and we'd work out for 4 hours, just do arms.
Wow. I mean, one dude would do arms and the other dude would just look at him.
Yeah. Smoking cigarettes.
You just stand there and just check out your friend for it.
Pump them up. Come on.
Yeah.
I bet you can't get that shit off the hooks.
Wow.
Then you need the drama in the gym, you know,
Yeah.
to tell the little story. Then you always see the jealous dude peeking in the window.
You catch one guy doing cardio one day.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh yeah, we don't run here.
Yeah, what do you like, boys?
Yeah, that's not pumping. Yeah, not gonna get a pump that way.
Yeah, I always wanted to be jacked. You talk to these people that are jacked, and they'll all tell you, "Hey, how'd you get jacked?" They'll be like, "Well, I go to the gym a lot." It's like I never
your
had
whole
the
life?
commitment to go that much.
Yeah, yep.
Like 5-6 days a week. I'm talking hour and a half.
Well, it's not just going to the gym, but those guys never eat bread or anything. You
Right.
look at their meals; they're all like meal prep: chicken breast, broccoli.
Oh, yeah. You know what I can't stand? Yeah, they call it
10
dog
eggs.
food. They'll mix it all in a plate. Get some of that dog food. It's like turkey breast and brown rice.
They do the thing where it's like a cutting board,
Yeah.
the wooden cutting board with like 10 eggs on it.
They always try to show you how cheap they can get your daily meals.
Yeah.
They'll be like, look, eat 70 meals for $2.11 a day.
Yeah.
And it's all chicken breast and brown rice. It's like people in the Philippines been doing this for years.
10 eggs. But it's also just like, I don't know, your stomach's all fucked up then. It's like, who wants to eat that much chicken breast?
It's always, you know, the people that actually get skinny are the ones that never eat, but they'll be the ones that tell you, oh, dude, I can't gain weight for nothing. Oh, I eat a lot. And then you sit with them one day and they eat like half a chicken nugget. And they'll be like, oh, dude, I'm full.
Well, these bodybuilder guys aren't trying to get skinny, though. They're trying to get
they're trying to get different.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to go the other way.
Yeah, but they all get that bloated gut. Like, they might be ripped, but they still got like a 38-inch waist. What's that
Well, the
about?
problem is that, like, once you get to, like, 260, if you're, like, under 6 feet tall, and you get to, like, 260, 270, then you can be like, that's like jack.
Yeah.
But it's like the second you go off, you hurt your back one day, you hurt your legs, and you can't go to the gym for a month. Boom, you're at 330. All of a sudden, you're fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
I mean, the line between, like, jacked and fat, I mean, like, you really, like, it goes by quick.
I had a buddy I grew up with. He used to lift weights. I don't know what he's been up to, but he stunted his growth from it.
Oh, yeah.
But he was like, dude, like this dude's like 4'11", but still kind of jacked, like a little pit bull.
Oh, well.
But he was like, yeah, I just want to be so big that I sweat when I walk up the steps. Like, I wonder how big you gotta
That's
be.
not a good thing, right?
Yeah, but he means like muscle. I guess
Right, yeah.
You know, some of these bodybuilders, like these guys that are 230, 240.
Yeah.
You know, they'll break that sweat easy just walking up some steps.
Well, those guys are always carrying around a big ass gallon of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
got
drinking
that.
water and eating
And
eggs.
random pills. They got creatine. They'll tell you
All this Joe Rogan shit.
about 6 pills.
That guy who's like if you're like 5 feet tall and like all you do is lift weights like that, that is the angriest guy.
Yeah, and he's got real short legs.
Yeah.
He's one of those long back short people.
Yeah.
So
But those dudes are like, that's a straight up brawler right there.
Yeah.
He's waiting to get into a fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know, dude. I've seen him. He takes off his shirt. And he's just got these little. He's just everything's just little on him.
Yeah. Well, he's like he can't. He can wrestle, but he can't box because there's no reach.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
you
even know how
wanna
good he
box?
could wrestle. He's got some little short arms.
Oh, he's low to the ground though.
Yeah.
His center of gravity is low.
Yeah, dude. He's got some short legs from his hip to his knees, about 1 foot.
Wow.
I've never seen nothing like it. He's one of those guys. It's hard to see him talk shit because he is. He'll be like, man, like he used to try to fight people at bars, and the thing is, he's still in kids' pants. It's like, those are the 505s.
Oh, when he's sitting on that bar stool, his legs are still dangling.
Yeah, it's like, dude, those are the Levi 505s, dude. You can't fight somebody in those.
Well, I mean, maybe there's that kind of guy though, where it's like if that dude really wants to fight you, I mean, he'll find a way.
You could always tell.
Yeah.
He's the type of guy that, he'll wear boots in July. To get that extra inch.
Mm-hmm. I wonder though, is that like because he lifted weights when he was too young, or that's just what God gave him?
Might be what God gave him, but both his parents are taller than him.
Oh wow!
But also, he just looks pissed off in the face.
That small.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough look.
Yeah, dude, you can't be. You gotta smile more. Whenever I see little people like me, just like little things like. Just little people like me carrying a Target bag and it's like 1 inch from the ground. It's like, because they make it because you want to hang it over your shoulder.
Yeah, it's
But,
rough.
dude, it's just, come on. You can't shorten up the handle a little bit.
Well, it's like, here's the problem is that, like, if you're short or if you have whatever your body is like, you got to accept that this is how you look.
Right.
Don't try to play it off.
But would you put the bag on your shoulder?
No, you get the like a tote bag, you mean.
Yeah, but the
like
Target, the actual bag that they sell you.
You wrap it around your wrist a few times, so it's like you shorten the handle.
That's a good move.
Just what you got to do, but it's like you look a little silly, but it's like at least you can carry it with some dignity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't try to act like a regular person.
I was putting it on my shoulder. Yeah, wrap it around the wrist. Yeah. That's good.
Be real quiet about it. Don't make a big
it's 1
scene.
inch, dude. It's 1 inch from the ground. You can't even go up steps with it.
Yeah, well, if there's puddles on the ground, that's just getting wet.
It's done, dude.
Yeah, you gotta adjust your lifestyle.
Why do you think they do that?
Well, because regular people with the regular height, they can carry it regular.
See,
it's like you're not a regular person.
See, Target really caters to women so much that they're even like, we only want tall guys shopping here. Change the bag so the short dudes, put them fucking asses at Walmart.
Well, you got to think, how big should the bag be then? Because it's like you don't want to shorten. Regular people can carry it a regular way.
Yeah.
It's hard to cater to the whole spectrum of short guys.
Yeah, with pants too, they don't cater to us. 30 longs don't fit.
Well, you gotta think how hard it is if you owned a clothing company, what sizes would you make the clothes?
I'd be because you always got the kids' pants. Well,
it's like there's always. I mean, you got to cater to a guy who's about 5'10",
and you got to be like, yeah, man. Can you imagine being 5'10", dude?
Well, but it's also like when you see like the big and tall people, people who are like 6'10", they're always complaining they can't get pants or something.
Yeah,
but it's like, all right, I understand that's a problem, but it's like, yeah, there's a reason you can't get pants. There's not that many guys that are that tall.
It is bullshit though, but I guess it's like, hey, you could just get the kids. I'd have to quit making the sizes wherever the kids stop at. If the kids section stops here,
you got to find a good tailor.
Yeah, one of those Italian guys.
Well, just find one guy that you can always drop it off at. He knows your measurements. He knows that you like it, to taper off a little bit.
I want one of those guys that'll fake laugh at everything I say. It's gonna rain tomorrow.
Oh, well, the guy he's got like a tape measure around his neck.
Let me ask you something. If you were 5'10", what would you do today?
5'10" is not that.
What would you do differently today?
Right now, so
what would you do differently with that other 2 inches that you wouldn't do normally?
Lifestyle-wise, it would change if I was like 6'3".
You wouldn't do nothing differently today if you were 5'10"?
You still can't dunk.
Take some pictures?
Nah.
Yeah, you could
Here's
dunk
the thing
if you
with
do the exercise. Dude, a 5'10" person can dunk.
Nah.
You don't think?
I mean, you could like get it in, but you can't dunk.
You can't really slam it in.
Slam dunk means that you got to get like way above the rim. So it's like, unless I'm on a trampoline or something. That's not
right.
Here's the thing with pictures. If you're setting up the camera yourself, you can make any guy can look pretty good in a picture.
Yeah.
The only problem is when it's somebody else taking the picture and they're tall, because that means that the camera's looking like this.
Short dude just taught me the best trick, man. I'm serious, man. Dude taught me a nice one. When you take the picture, you can go under iPhone and you could stretch it out, and you could look a little taller
like
and thinner.
Fish island.
Yeah, dude.
Well, the other thing too is that when you take a picture, it can't be a group picture where you're with a bunch of tall people. It's
got to be with ugly people.
Well, there's that.
Short, ugly people.
It's got to be with. Well, it's got to be just you, or it's got to be you with somebody who's shorter or the same height, and the camera has to be like down a little bit, looking up.
Yeah.
Because that way it's like you'll still look proportionally pretty good. But once you get into mixed company.
One time I put a picture up of me and Kenny Warren. I had a couple of pictures, but one was of me and Kenny Warren. Because I never had no black girls match with me. I wanted to show that, like, hey, dude, I got so many hits for Kenny. Girls were hitting him up like, yo, which one's you? I had like 6 other pictures of me. Kenny was only in one. They were still trying for his ass.
Wow.
They were so disgusted I was the short white kid.
Damn. Oh, you got to tell Kenny this.
Yeah, I think I told him. We laughed about it.
Yeah, that's tough. But yeah, I don't think I think there is a people do treat you different. 6'3" and up. That's when it's like you're really getting the primo treatment.
Well, that's when they'll even make a whole their whole TikTok. I've seen girls' whole TikTok. This is what my 6'3" husband eats in a day, and it's like the same everybody else eats. He had a cheeseburger, a hot dog, and a fry. Oh, he's going back for a refill. You know, he'll be like, I'm 6'3". We're going to Target to get pants. Their whole shit's about them being 6'3".
Hey, man.
They interview people that are tall. How tall are you? I'm 6'2". Man, you know.
See, I mean, you said you act like this is weird, but if it was you, I mean, of course.
Should I start doing it? This is what I eat in a day, being 5'5". This is 5'5".
I don't need as much protein as these guys. Yeah. You know, 2 eggs is enough.
I'm 5'5", just interviewing other short people. So you're short too, right?
Yeah. You got those kids' pants?
Yeah. Let me ask you, how do you like to act like an adult even though you look like a kid?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's like once you get below 5'5", that's really 5'5" is like. That's anything shorter than that as a guy. That's when things really get bad for you.
Well, you start shrinking after about 45.
Yeah. But I mean, like, the way people treat you. I think if you were 5'3".
Yeah. Oh, if you're 5'3", people don't even look at you like a man that deserves respect.
That's when it's
you're like a beat dog.
Your
shaking.
attitude is like, your attitude becomes different. Their attitude towards you becomes different.
It does. Beg for everything. Beg to be my friend.
Well, it's just like, you don't even want to hang around that guy.
Oh, dude, you can't.
You know nothing's coming good to him. It's like,
Here's the thing, dude. I'm telling you, people are strategic. If you're my group of friends, no, I chose you because I think I'm better than you are. Like if I'm going out with 5 guys to go talk to girls, I'm not going with 3 varsity basketball players and like some model looking guy from
varsity
Jamaica.
Basketball player. Yeah, some guys who are in high school.
Well, was that college too?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I think you're still like the thing with being 5'5" and like you could still meet a lot of girls who are like 5'4".
Oh yeah, but they're gonna like your tall friend more that plays b-ball.
Yeah, but it's also like if you're 5'3", then you're talking to the girl who's 5'5", and she's already like checking at the top of your head.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, if she's talking to you, she's got some serious problems going on in her life. Just know that.
Even if you're like, even if you do the stupid leg surgery where they chop you up and extend you, you know you're only going from 5'3" to like 5'8".
And it's damn, that's a hell of a jump. That's how they sell it to people.
It's only your legs that get longer. It's not the top of you. There's no proportional.
But that's how they market it to people. That whole surgery is for people that are 5'3".
Yeah.
5'2", even 5'1". I want to tell them, listen, the grass ain't greener on the other side. You're 5'3", you're still short. I'm 5'5". Like, I'm maybe 6'6".
Yeah, let's not go crazy. Yeah.
Well, if I do yoga.
Doing that surgery, though, it's like you're still going to be an outsider. You feel like you're on the outside now when you're 5'3", but it's like Now you're just gonna be a weird looking 5'8".
Yeah.
So you're still gonna be like you're not gonna be one of the guys.
And you're gonna be one of those guys to when people go, "Bro, you're not 5'8". You're gonna go, "Yeah, the fuck I am."
I went through 4 years of excruciating pain.
I couldn't walk for years. They're showing you their thigh.
Yep. You have to go all the way to Turkey.
Yep. Got the hair transplant, the veneers. I got some friends really going through their midlife thing, dude. It's weird when you see our friends now are going through midlife crisis. Do you see that?
I guess, yeah.
Dude, I see one or two. They're spray tanning. They're fucking bleaching their hair, their contacts, bleaching their teeth, wearing little eyeliner. I'm just like, dude, now this is one specific person that probably knows I'm talking about them. But, dude, it's just like, the tight clothes and the veneers, just shaving all the hair off.
The veneers, I feel like we're going to look back on this era in like 10 years, and it's like something's going to go wrong here. Whatever it is, I don't even know how it works. I think it's just like epoxy or whatever, and they just shove a tooth onto your already existing tooth. There's no way this is going to last.
Well, you got to get them redone anyway. Veneers, you're supposed to get redone every 7 years.
Oh, really?
But what do you call was one of the originals? Remember Ben Affleck? They all talked about it. He did that first movie, and they were like, everybody was talking about.
Oh, it's like the front teeth or something.
He bought he spent $20,000.
Well, the thing is, it used to
teeth.
be you would just, if you had a gap tooth or something, you would get it fixed. You'd get like a couple teeth, the way your big tooth thing is.
Yeah.
But like these days, everybody gets the full row.
And they call it the Hollywood smile. I think I just got bit. I did.
Oh, well.
They call it the Hollywood smile now. I think Jim Carrey has it too.
Yeah. Well,
Actors
people are
get
like
done.
getting like, it used to be like regular looking teeth. Now it's just like a big ass Cadillac row.
What was that movie with, you know who I'm talking about, where he married his cousin? They were stock trading, or remember his teeth in that?
I don't
You
know.
delivered tacos to the dude. Jonah Hill?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that is so comical to me.
Yeah.
That row of that Cadillac got them.
Yeah.
The Island Boys just did it.
Big ass shiny teeth.
I see this whole thing now coming out about Justin Bieber. People like, he had a hair transplant. Look, here's him wearing a hat. It's like trending on TikTok that he had a hair transplant like 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It's like, of course he did. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why not?
Imagine the hair transplant he could
it's
get.
like it's. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I think it doesn't always look good, but it's like that's still better than the veneers.
I'm keeping you with staying natural, dude. I tried getting that stuff for balding. My face started to twitch.
I told you.
Yeah.
I knew this was too good to be true.
Dude, I talked to somebody about it. They go, yeah, it heightens your blood pressure. I got high blood pressure as it is, I feel like. I'm like, dude,
you gotta
I don't
go
need
natural.
that. Yeah, I'm going natural. Listen, my Uncle Nick looks great. Me and him got the same hair. Couple more years when it thins out just right, I could slick it back. Little Joey Diaz look.
Well, you keep it short on the side.
Yeah, keep it short on the sides. And then I could start saying, my father. I'll start, I got, people tell me all the time I got Italian up my set on the ships. They're always like, dude, here's the problem. Dominic Leonelli, you don't even bring up the fact you're Italian.
Yeah.
And Italians would love it. They go, my father, his name was Dominic.
Bafangu.
Yeah. And they'll tell you got to talk about being Italian. Say there was 11 of us in a bed.
Your hands like this. Yeah.
What here goes with
the mozzarella.
Yeah, then they tell you a joke. What's the difference between a Stugisi and a Scugarini? One of them's mother's shaped like a fucking meatball. Tommy.